Streaming live via the internet, welcome to ISP Radio, your weekly source for ISP-related news, events, and interviews with industry experts. If you deliver internet via fiber optic, wireless, coax, or any other way, you're in the right place. Chat live with us weekly via ispradio.com every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now a brief word from our sponsors. Link Technologies, providing ISP consulting, support, and hardware for wireless ISPs. TowerCoverage.com, providing online RF coverage maps. Mimosa Networks, providing high-density, high-bandwidth radio products. Advanced LLC, providing retail and wholesale advanced communication services by matching providers with your bandwidth needs. And by Sitel, providing reliability in surge suppression. And now your host for ISP Radio, Steve Grabiel and Dennis Burgess.
Welcome to another edition of Radio. I'm your host, Steve Grabiel. The office is in Moriarty, New Mexico, where the weather is pretty sunny. It's supposed to be kind of balmy out here. Still a ton of snow after that Christmas show, after Christmas. I think we got 3 feet of Christmas, and we're still muddling through that with all the mud. But by and large, today's a beautiful day. I just got back to New Mexico on Saturday, and yesterday and Monday hit the road running, doing a major network upgrade. A lot of my clients have really, really old equipment, and this is what I tell my clients. You have the equivalent of a brick cell phone, so what we want to do is come to your house and upgrade you to a smartphone to provide you better and faster service. So we picked a couple of relays on the network to try this out, and we were very successful, and I was very pleased with what we had done. We were using some 2.4 gigahertz client access stuff, and we saw with this upgrade, 40 to 50 megs down and up. So in my neck of the woods, the spectrum's not totally trashed where I can use the 2.4, so I was real pleased with that. But other than that, it's been turn and burn. Guys are out in the field. We took care of about 12 customers yesterday. We got about another 11 to do today, and then we'll start playing with channels, upgrading the channel sizes, and playing with frequencies to optimize what we've done. But a real good project, getting people back out of the Stone Age up into modern technology. So Dennis, producing the show from St. Louis and co-host of the show. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, we have finally had a little bit of snow. You were sitting there saying, oh, you got a whole bunch of it, and we got, an inch or two, not much. Up north in northern St. Louis, they got a couple inches, a lot more than here anyway. So, but that's all good. A little snow don't hurt anything. I like it a little bit. It doesn't really bug me because guess what? I don't have to go out in it other than get to the office. We have people for that. We send them off and
Cool. Well, you bring up a good point, people upgrading their backhaul. Well, we're fortunate today to have Ligowave on the show with us today. We have Bill Brown. He's the Vice President of Sales for Ligowave, and also Richards, and I'll let Richards say his last name. They're from Ligowave. Richard is the Global Technical Support Director, and this is going to be a little bit different show. Just like Dennis said, people upgrading their backhauls, and this show is going to be a little different in the fact that Bill and Richard have put together a webinar for us to talk about their latest and greatest product, the RapidFire point-to-point solution, which may dovetail perfectly into those customers that you're dealing with on upgrading their point-to-point equipment. So with that, Bill and Richards, are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Good. So,
Good.
Bill, tell us a little bit about Ligowave, where it came from and where you came from to be a part of the industry.
Sure. Ligowave was started back in officially in 2007. We've been in the wireless broadband business with focus on, from the very beginning, on point-to-point long-distance backhaul. And we've now moved into, and I think people maybe know that we merged our other brand, which was Deliberant, to Ligowave. So now we're all under that same umbrella. So that Deliberant part brought us the point-to-multipoint as well, and the lower-end point-to-point. So that's kind of where Ligowave came from. We're a global company. We have offices in the U.S., just outside of Atlanta. We have offices in Europe and multiple offices in Asia. So we service the U.S. market from that office in it's actually in Canton, Georgia. We have operations there, technical support, customer service, stocking for our U.S. distributors as well as Latin America. So that's where Ligowave came from. So myself, I've been in the telecommunications industry for a lot of years. I've been with with Ligowave's parent company for the last 15 years. So I know them very well. They do other telecommunications products as well as wireless broadband. But I've been involved with Ligowave myself personally for since about 2010. So really enjoying this industry, and we're coming up with a lot of new things this year. RapidFire came out at the end of last year, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll have some more things coming out in the next few months, and hopefully we'll get a chance to come back and talk about those.
What are your primary markets that you address? Obviously, you take care of WISPs out there, but what other folks are buying your product?
Security, in addition to the WISP market, we have a lot of our customers are using our DLB series for the low-end connection of video surveillance cameras, and then backhauling that with our Pro, Unity, and now our RapidFire products.
Gotcha. So with that, you want to tear into RapidFire?
Sure, I'd love to. We're really excited about this product, and it's got some great performance to offer to the market, features, and some things that we've gotten, over the years, a lot of feedback from our customers, and we've tried to incorporate those things into the product. So let's get started. All right, it is LigoPTP RapidFire. This is a picture of the metal case, and we'll go into detail of the two different devices we have. Actually, we have it available in the 5 gigahertz band, as well as a 4 gigahertz version for public safety. The specs are slightly different. What we're going to go through here is the 5 gigahertz. If I have time later, I'll go into some details on the 4 gigahertz. We've got in the product a dedicated Marvell Armada CPU, which gives us the strength to be able to do a lot of the processing things you're going to see here, which includes just a summary on this page, over 700 megs, throughput, that's TCP, 200,000 packets per second, and then we have an integrated radio for management, and of course we've got, for this product, one of the things we requested in the past was have a second Ethernet port with PoE pass-through. We had the PoE second Ethernet port on our Unity product, but it didn't have the PoE pass-through. So for high-end camera connections and for doing links, repeater links, this is a great option. It comes in two models, with in connectors or with the integrated 23 dBi antenna.
So, Bill, quick question. I know people are going to ask this right away. You have an SFP on there somewhere, right?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an SFP port on the radios yet?
No, we do not have an SFP port on radios at this time.
Is there going to be a product with that, or not yet?
Yes, that's actually something that we're looking at for the next version, the next series of our PTPs.
Gotcha. Because I know a lot of WISPs, they'll definitely ask, hey, where's the fiber so I can run that long cable and power it in some other way. So just figured I'd ask because I know it's going to come up if it's not already on our chat yet.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and yeah, we've already been hearing that.
Excellent.
All right, one of the things that I mentioned early on was that our roots are really with PTP. We've been doing that for a long time, and that was our initial focus, only point-to-point, long-distance, high throughput, and we've developed our proprietary protocol for doing that, and it's WJet. We're now up to WJet 5, and it is designed specifically. It's not a makeshift multi-point protocol, and we tweaked it. It's truly a point-to-point protocol. It provides these features you see here: the efficient spectrum, very long distance support. This is new. We haven't had a lot of these in the field yet to get reports back on real long distance. For the prior product to this, though, we were doing over 100 kilometers, over 60-mile lengths, without a problem. So we're going to expect to see some great test reports coming in from the field for similar kind of distance reports. We use a custom block ACK system, so we build up very large packets to send. We don't listen for that to be clear and for acknowledgement. We use a token base, and that allows us to get these very high throughputs and deal with in high interference areas and get past that. Retry only the packets that we need to retry, and that gives us both that high throughput as well as high packets per second. And we'll get into a little bit more detail on those as we go. One of the things that people were asking for was this management radio to be able to access the units from outside of the radio itself, and we integrated that 2.4 gigahertz radio to allow the installers and technicians to be able to use that for aiming the radios as well as for doing maintenance on the link once it's up and running. Here's an example. This is up at 98 feet and 5 meters away with a phone, and be able to manage the rapid fire from there. And similar, but using a tablet and at a greater distance. So that's something that has been very well received by the market already, allowing the customer to not have to climb up to that top of that building to get it. Just by recycling the power on the device, it's open for 10 minutes, and then and then it's closed if there's no activity. So, all right, we talked about the second Ethernet port. They're both gig ETH. They have the 802.3 AF pass-through. Again, repeaters and video surveillance. We have not yet, like our Unity product, we haven't yet incorporated a 1+1 feature for this, but that is something that we're looking into to see if we can accommodate the 1+1 like the Unity. Completely new enclosure design. We took feedback from a number of customers worldwide, and they liked our old metal product because we've always made it out of high-grade die-cast aluminum. But the design was, a smaller bracket. People liked our bracket. It had an articulating arm, heavy-duty metal, die-cast again. But they were asking for larger bolts, easier to use, big hands, wrenches. So we beefed up the bolt size a couple of notches, and then we added a handle to make it easy to be strapped on or carried to the site or up the tower.
Question: what would be like the maximum pull we could mount that to? Because some of us have 4-inch conduits out there that we would like to attach to. That when you're on a tower and you find out it won't wrap around what you got available. It's kind of painful.
Sure. Richard, do you know offhand what the maximum diameter is?
I know in meter systems it should be maximum up to 12 centimeters. So I need to.
You had to Google that one up.
Yeah, do a quick conversion for us on that, will you?
What do you say?
12 centimeters.
12 centimeters?
2.5 centimeters to the inch, right?
So 4.7 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So a 3-inch conduit it should mount to.
Yeah. If it's 12 centimeters, it's 4.7 inches. So that's a big span. That's a big pipe. Yeah.
That's helpful. Good. And you can see there that's it's got large bolts to attach it on the pole side, and then a 4-hole pattern there on the device itself. And we'll get into those extra holes here in a second. On the left, you've got the integrated, the end connectors for external antennas, and then on the right, you've got the integrated 23 dBi antenna.
Do we know the front to back ratio on the 25 dB or the antenna?
Richard?
I'm not sure. Need to check now.
On that one. The only reason why I was saying is because a lot of people like to use, if you have a real good front to back ratio, then we can, of course, try to co-locate and things like that and do frequency reuse. But not a problem. Let's, let me know.
All right, let's take a look at that while we're moving on. All right, one of the things we've, I don't know if all of you know, but on our older products we use organic LEDs, the displays, which some customers loved, and other customers said, it's great for the integrated antenna version, but with external antennas, the organic LED was just too hard to see down below. So we did the 2.4 gig radio, but we decided to use some good RGB LEDs, very bright LEDs in the back of the unit, and that gives you, the ability to see these things that we're showing here on the screen from these LEDs that are across here, and you can do that when it's operating. Actually, this is a multifunction button that is located right here. That button allows you to actually do that reboot or set the unit into the maintenance radio mode if you're right at the unit, so you can do that. And it gives you all of the things that when the link is operating, you can see the different things that are available to you here. Very bright, even in bright sunlight. And this is something that customers ask for. Another way to obviously get around the crowded 5 gigahertz band to try to get some orientation out of the norm. So here you can, with the panel antenna, you can rotate this unit 45 degrees in either direction. That gives you the ability to create a new pattern out there that's going to hopefully provide some better resilience to that noise floor. Product also includes a Gore membrane vent. Gore membrane vent just causes, we have these extreme temperature changes in places like Steve, where you are, and this prevents condensation internally as well as equalization of the pressure so that you don't damage the seals of the enclosure. It provides for a longer life product overall.
That would be really helpful in real moist environments, I presume, right?
It is, because we can't really seal the product at all from when it's manufactured, and when you get to more moisture should not get inside the unit at any point, but because they are IP67 rated enclosures, so that we test them under a meter of water for up to an hour to get that certification. But you're going to have air inside, and when you get these temperature swings, what happens is that air that's inside does have some humidity in it, and it can condense if it's not allowed to escape.
Seen it.
We talked about the mounting bracket already a lot, but that just kind of gives you some detail on the bracket, just how it plugs together there. Again, that's all die-cast aluminum, so it's not going to rust on you, and then it's got a glossy powder coat finish. So that's actually it is supplied with an electrolysis process and then baked on. And this is the detachable handle that we're emphasizing here. Haven't quite figured out yet why we call it detachable. I'm not sure why you want to take it off. Actually, there is a reason on the version with the panel antenna. Depending on the tilt, you might need that additional clearance not to interfere with the pole. But that does give you an extra few degrees if you have the integrated antenna version.
And a place to tie your rope to it if you're dangling high off of a tower to keep them from falling.
That too, and I had somebody say at one time, yeah, we can always, in case things are really bad, we can tie a lanyard to it just to make sure that if anything breaks, it doesn't fall off the tower. So yeah, but I would hope you had a better mount than that to start with. So. Yeah, so and better safety gear than strapping it with a rope. Integrated surge protection. One of the things that people always are concerned about, obviously, the higher we go up with these point-to-point devices, the more static you have out there and surge compared to the lower end stuff that's down on the ground or at the 10-foot level. So we had great surge protection in our previous devices, but we went one step further in this and moved the scale up. On the ESD side, we used the standard that's there, the 6100-4-2, and on surge the 6100-4-5. So you can see that what the requirement is there to get that, and then we tested actually above that. So you can see we tested a 15 kV line to ground, 8 kV line to discharge, and then for surge, we exceeded the requirement there as well, 6 kV to ground, and then 2 kV line to line. So that's something we think is very important. Obviously, there's all additional good practices that you should be doing. Of course, this doesn't relieve you from doing that, but every little bit helps. The new operating system, I'm not sure how many of you have used our prior one, but it was good and efficient, but it was flash-based and wasn't responsive to different size devices. This is, so you can use it on any device, phone size, tablet, laptop, all the way up to big screens. And one of the things that we also heard from our customers was, boy, we would just like this thing to be easy to set up, like my TV, a new TV, plug it in and have it jump through the processes, because 9 times out of 10, I don't need any of the special settings. So that's what we did. So we made it such that you can step through this 5-step process. You can do single site configuration. So really, other than a couple minor setups for the slave device, you do everything on one end, and that's going to make configurations very quick.
Quick question.
Sure.
On the configuration. So, like if I order the product and I set it up in my shop, do you guys suggest that you do that, set it up in the shop, and create the link before you go out and deploy it?
Yeah, we always think that's a good idea. But obviously, you can do it out there, and you can set it up with the wireless interface. But the wizard is there for you to, and most often, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be easier for you to do that setup, at the shop before you go out.
Yeah.
But it's not a requirement.
Cool.
As you can see here, you can do it. You can have your device that you're using for interfacing to them. You can either be wireless or you can be wired, and you can have the devices be either connected through a data link, or you can have them communicating to each other as you would in the field. Top right-hand corner, kind of the full example there of having the devices remote and being and talking to the master, and having the master talk to the slave for the configuration. So then we're just going to step through the link setup wizard. Really, it is just 4-step: start, mode, setup, and finish. So you get to the start screen, operating country, you agree to the terms and conditions. That's about it. And then you do and then antenna gain for a non-integrated antenna. And then we move on to the next step in the setup, and that's the operating mode. Here you're going to set up you're setting up the master, and then you're going to move on to setup. And then once you go into the master, you put in the password, a few network settings, and channel selection, and then you're on to discovery. And here you're going to discover, the master is going to discover remote devices. And once that is discovered, there'll be a list. And once you find the list, you select it. And then we'll move on to the final process, which is to finish and move the final parameters to the slate. So, quick and easy, single site configuration. This is been very well received in the market. Just a very few parameters that need to be done on the remote side device, and then everything else is done from the master. So you can do all of that configuration quick and easy without having to really be doing much work on two devices.
So normally you would go out and
Richard, can you answer that?
No, you mean minimum data rate to keep the link, right?
yeah, I mean the ideal is that if I have a link that's
Yeah, I see. Now that is not available, but I think it could be added with additional some implementation.
yeah, so we see this a lot in
Okay.
options. You never know. People always ask these questions. If you don't ask, you don't know.
No, and that's how we actually built our products over the years. As we started was of course we have engineers that have great ideas, but our customers have some real world experience of what they need in the field, and that's how we try to accommodate.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dennis, on a side note, couldn't that be handled by your router behind these radios?
Well, while you think it could, the problem is the problem is the router behind the radios really don't have any idea what the actual data rate of the radio is.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so the ideal is that normally or under normal circumstances, the radio would be
Up on the single site configuration, this is the last screen here for managing the remote device with some settings, and then you're basically done.
Yeah, it's a pretty interface.
Thanks. And we decided to add some real color here. So this is our spectrum analyzer. You can see there at the top, you've got the, I hope you can see on the screen, the blue is the max, and then the green is the average, and then the current is the white line. And then we, from some customer requests, we added this spectrograph waterfall display at the bottom, which that's time along the left axis, and then the horizontal axis is the frequency. So you can see over time slices, starting at the bottom and working up, kind of the history of what the spectrum has been doing. So you can see if you just had some momentary glitches along the way, or if you've got some actual, you get some real red stuff out there, like you can see in the 5.9 area. Well, let's see. I guess it would. Hold on. So, and then you can see the others where it's more clear. So that kind of gives you a history of that noise floor.
So we have a question, in it, as it pertains to the spectrum analyzer. Does the spectrum analyzers use the same radio, per se, as the actual operation? In other words, when you're running in spectrum analyzer mode, are you stopping communications of the link?
Yeah, does the link drop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're using the same radio.
All right.
Security, I think most of this is pretty well known, but again, because we've been in this PTP business for a long time, we know how important all this, the data that's going across these backhaul links is, that the encryption is important, password, the administration of passwords are important, and how to be able to access the radio. So, our devices are designed for those as well as security installations, not just backhaul. They are designed to meet our customers' requirements for that.
And that's all hardware encryption?
Yes.
And then speaking of hardware, they're integrated. Our QoS is hardware based. So we've got 4 levels of QoS, priority traffic, and then both on this product we can do both strict and weighted round robin policies for data transmission. Again, the QoS only kicks in when you're at maximum capacity, and then you decide which of those policies that, depending on your application, whether the strict or round robin is the best for your application. And then, of course, the different methods for marking the prioritization or determination of the marks.
Excellent. So I got another question for you on the QoS, a little more technical.
Sure.
Will the QoS, currently you're saying the QoS is built on both either IP TOS, DSCP bits, or COS VLAN priorities, which is great. Let me ask this question. Will it peer into unencrypted PPOE sessions?
PPE, no, we don't look in the PPOE now. So now we don't support PPOE inside PPOE.
Okay, so the QoS will work, but it will just see the PPOE packet, not necessarily the traffic inside the PPOE session. It's not a problem. It's not something that's very common, but it's always a question to ask.
Yeah, we get such requests, so I think maybe added in future.
There you go.
All right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about just some, we're going to show off a little bit. This is an award that we got at Wispapalooza, and Dennis was there helping us with the bake-off that we did with our competitors there. It was a great event. We thought there was a lot of good interaction between people that come by and try our products, and discussions with them. Again, things they liked, things they didn't like, things that they would like to see in the future. So it was a great opportunity to interface with people, and it was a good place to showcase our new RapidFire. And this was the equipment that Dennis and the group brought there to do the testing with. And this was a setup that we had there with the with the two rapid fires connected on cables. And based upon that, we were awarded the Spectral Efficiency Award for 80 megahertz channel bandwidth. That was the official one, and we also got an unofficial Truth in Advertising Award when they made the announcement. We actually exceeded our what we were claiming, the 700 meg throughput, and we exceeded that in the test. So we get a little pat in the back for doing that. So one thing that we do strive for is trying to keep our specs accurate and conservative, and not just throwing things out there and hoping that we can pass at some point in time. And this is the distance chart that we kind of use for, obviously, guesstimations with noise and the other factors that are out there. We can't take this as gospel, but these are pretty close to what you would expect and what we're seeing that our customers would get with the RapidFire 523 with a 30 dBi antenna and with a 34 dBi antenna.
That's actually, I'll be honest with you, this is actually probably one of the best charts I've seen in quite a while, because normally we don't get to see this type of data. We get to see, we get the marketing hype of, oh, it can go 120 kilometers at 800 megabit or some goofy thing like that. But they're not saying you'll get 800 megabit at 120 kilometers. They're just saying it will go 120 kilometers and it can do 800 meg. Where now you have this beautiful graph that really shows, in all reality, a good 30 dB antenna, you're going to be at, maybe 4 or 5 miles to get the highest data rates. But with the 34, you can be around, maybe 8 or 9 miles. And this is a really good chart. I applaud Ligowave on providing this to the end users, because it's not something we get to see all the time at all. Matter of fact, I don't think there's I don't know of any vendors that publish a chart like this.
And actually, on our website, when you go to the product on our website, there's actually a sliding scale there, so you can actually use your cursor and go over, and it'll give you the exact figure for any one of those points. So again, it's just an estimation, but it allows you to see as you go along, and if you can't read the scale really well, it'll actually give you the exact point on board these products. And the same, it's really similar for all of our products, our point-to-multipoint products as well. When you go onto our website for each product, we give you the maximum distance that we recommend, and then we give you the theoretical max distance and then what recommended distance. As well as an overview, we have an overview that you can download, which shows all of our products, and each of those products it shows kind of what we suggest as being the maximum distance configuration for those. In addition to that, we'll show it a little bit later. We have our link calculator. Ligowave's link calculator is one of the most popular in the industry. It's a free link calculator, and not totally free. You have to get ads from us once in a while, but it's out there. It does point-to-point and point-to-multipoint, and we're continuing to improve it all the time. We got some new released features coming out, so that's going to be. We think this is the great information. This is what people want to know. They want to know what it's going to do. And that's the first question you get from a customer. How much will it do at 10 miles? How much will it do at 4 miles? How much will it? So we thought we would.
That was going to be my question before that slide. Absolutely.
So you can see that. Again, if you put it into for the specific location, if you go to our link calc, you put in the GPS coordinates, you put your antenna heights in there, you put in rapid fire, we're going to give you our best estimation of what you're going to get. And we give it to you, the received signal level. One of the things that we're coming out with for all of them is to make it a little easier for the non-real technical guys, is we're doing some real throughput estimations for those clients so they can see the throughput, not just the technical jargon. So here we've got some pretty interesting success stories already out there from customers that have been installing these, and this is one in Canada. It's a 12 kilometer, about 7.5 mile length, and this was a quote from the customer. It's rapid fire up there on those towers, and easy to install, and they've been rock solid. Probably very rock solid at the moment, as cold as it is up there. So they're frozen. But you can see here, this is they've got about 500 customers being fed with this. They got a dozen customers that are 55, 1010. They were one of the first of our beta customers actually to put this up. They were very helpful to us in getting this link up and doing a lot of testing and feedback for us. So we're very appreciative of Murray and NetSet Communications for doing that. Same for a customer in Austria. This is a 6-mile link in Austria. This is a link profile. This is actually the kind of diagram you'll get, you can print out when you go to our link calculator. It's going to give you, it uses Google Maps, so you'll be able to see it on Google Maps as well as then get the diagram for the distance in the Fresno zone. And here's some photos of that location there. Not a bad place.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nice to do an installation where you can just stand there and put it on the pole. I mean,
right.
We don't get to do that here in Missouri. I mean, we go 400 or 800 foot before we can start doing an installation.
So here's the results. You can see that the signal levels are very good. 5.3 channel sizes tested. Italy, again, about a 6-mile link. This one's up a bit higher than that, so using some dish antennas. This is just one of the display screens for the on the GUI. There you can see the throughput based upon packet sizes, and then you can see the average packets per second. And then at the bottom there, you can see in more detail from local to remote, both throughput, packet losses, and again, this customer was very happy with the performance. You can see the high throughput and a very high packet per second. Okay, this one's just a little bit longer, almost twice as long, in Hungary with ZNet. And again, it used the 34 dBi antennas.
They got a couple antennas on that tower.
Yeah, a couple, right?
Yeah, just a couple. I like how they have the Z on everything. It's nice branding.
I think what I noticed from the marketing side was it appears that they've changed their logo and their branding a bit over time. So I'm not sure which is the latest and greatest, but you've got the Z and then the ZNet with black and white and white and black.
Yeah.
And a good history of the marketing. Again, this is from Link Calc. So this is showing the link calculation between the 2 points. And this is the link stats. Richard, do you want to talk about this a little bit? Just kind of what we're showing here and the value?
Yeah, we have status page here, and we see here the signal levels. So we indicate signal levels from both sides. This first part of this table is data from remote site. So we see the signals from how remote sites hears this master site. Yeah. So also the transmitter, RX rates, power, name and MAC address. So this is on the right side local site data, which means that how this side hears remote site. So this is, we see, let's say, all signals in one place. So it's very easy to compare. So we see signal per chain and signals per site. Also, we have basic product information and basic radio parameters. And at the bottom, there are other network parameters like IP address and MAC address. So in the corner, in the top or right in the corner, there is link quality. Link quality indicates the performance of the link. So it's basically calculated on the data rate.
Okay, thank you. This is actually that spectrum analysis from that location. Again, you can see, obviously, there's some areas there that definitely wanted to avoid. And of course, pick the sweet spot there. Mostly at the bottom, the waterfall is blue at worst. And this was the link test done on that link. And you can see that the throughput was very good, as well as over 135,000 packets per second for that application.
I couldn't quite see it. What was the channel size on that link?
Let's see.
Go one slide back.
80.
What's 80? Yeah.
80 megahertz at 11 miles. That's pretty good, especially with that trashed spectrum.
Okay, here's one at 15 miles in Mexico. It's actually a government agricultural center, going from high to low point. 30 dBi dishes, 80 meg channel, and I don't know if we had the signal level is not as good as that previous one. A lot of noise. So that's so that degraded the throughput a bit and the packets per second a bit, but still, very good for that application. What they needed to get to that agricultural center. And of course, I'm sure you've seen it out there, the buy 3, get 1 free until the end of the month. We've been doing that for December and January. So distributors have stock available of the product, both versions. So of course, try to take advantage of that. Be that buy 3, get 1 free. And then kind of in general, and just to go through, why Ligowave, we talked a little bit about the company, but some of the things that you may not know is that we have local telephone support out of our Georgia office. We have an online ticket system that's handled by our Richards Group worldwide, so they can handle the tickets from Lithuania or Asia or the U.S. Get right back to somebody. So if it's after hours, those tickets can be picked up by others. All of our products, the point-to-point and point-to-multipoint, all carry a 2-year warranty, which we handle direct. You don't have to go back through your reseller or distributor to get that. You just go online and register your RMA. You're told where to send it, and we repair it. And in the U.S., we have a 1-week turnaround, 7 days in-house maximum policy to get it returned back to the customer. So that makes it very painless for both the customer and the distributor. We offer, as I mentioned, the link calc, which you can, if this works here, we'll be able to see the link calc come up here in a second. And you can do, again, some of the things that are in more detail about link calc is that you can do a link and you can save it. You just go in and log in, you have to register, and then you just log in and you get some ads at the beginning, and then we kind of leave you alone once you get in. But you can go in and create a point-to-point link. You can, once you create it, you can save it. You can create a share link, so you can share it with your customer or with a coworker. You can create a PDF for it. So it's like other link calculators, but hopefully we've got some improvements that you'll like. We've got on the point-to-multipoint, we've added some features where you can actually put in, as opposed to just drawing a circle, you can go in and put in the beam width of the antenna that you're going to be using and the orientation relative to north. So you can actually, if you put a 90-degree sector in there, you can see what kind of coverage you're going to get for an 90-degree sector. Obviously, you can print it out. Some of the things we talked about that we're going to be adding to that are the true here instead of on the results page. We're going to be, in addition to the signal level here, we'll be giving you the ability to actually see the throughput and the modulation. And then something that's in the works is a project where you'll be able to go in and do a project, and you can do point A and point B, and then maybe you want to add a point multi-point in that project. You can also save these things off and put your logo on them. So it still has a disclaimer of Ligowave on the bottom, but you can make them look like your own. So, and then, of course, we have all of our products are managed from our free WNMS remote management system, which is available as a cloud version or as a download for Windows and Linux. All of the description of all of this is on our website, so you'll be able to see all the different tools we provide. We make a mobile version of WNMS as well. So it should pop up here in a second. And my provider gives me some bandwidth. And so you have WNMS, WNMS Cloud, and WNMS Mobile.
And that's free to the end user.
It is. The only difference is on the cloud version, it's free up to 20 devices. For more than 20 devices, there's a $49 per month fee for unlimited number of devices. So it's really just for service maintenance for us.
Now, a question I have is,
yeah.
Any recommended antennas? Any ARC wireless, Ubiquiti? Any 2-foot, 3-foot dish will do? What has worked best for your customers?
We work a lot with ARC Wireless. Matter of fact, they have a lot of antenna products that they know Ligowave. We worked with them to make sure that everything's works well, and they have Ligowave ready antennas. So if you contact ARC Wireless and ask for, hey, I'm going to put up a Ligowave point-to-point, they'll easily be able to tell you what radios they have that are best match for those.
Gotcha.
One of the other things I wanted to show, if I can get that link to cooperate here, is we also have a tool that's out there in the market, which is a wireless installer tool, and it's a free download from the Google Play Store. And from that, you can actually go out and use the device to aim for the remote location, and again, you can use it to do the alignment. If I can get this thing to come up, but for some reason it's not trying to cooperate with me. There we go. Okay, so this is our WNMS. So if you go to the website, you can see a lot more about it. You can actually download it. WNMS Cloud. You can again subscribe to that. 20 free devices. All of our products, whether they're point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, indoor, outdoor, they all work on the same system. Both the mobile version of it you can see here, so you can have all of your devices mapped out. There is mapping on the system. Alarms, of course, you can alarm from the system to both the devices. There's a link that's out of the top operating parameters. And you can do third-party devices through our application called Sweep, which is integrated with WNMS. You have your other devices, you put everything in one place. Link count we talked about already. There's a reset tool for remote resetting devices. And then this was the installer app that I was talking about. And the installer app allows you to aim the devices using a radar to start with, based upon GPS, and then augmented reality using the camera. That's, again, it's a free download from Google Play Store. Just search for wireless installer app, and you'll be able to find it very quickly. You can also, I think, search for it under Ligowave. You should see it as well.
That's really pretty cool.
So that's that's all of the slides that I have. So if we have additional questions that listeners are wanting to ask or that you guys have, we'll be happy to answer those.
You had mentioned that there's two GigE ports on the RapidFire. What's an application of using both ports? Does it push out PoE? It takes one, and does it push it out to another device? What's an application you would use for that?
Camera, a camera connection. You can feed that camera directly through. There's one, and then obviously the other that we would have for a long distance link is be able to feed that center connection for a repeater scenario.
Oh, okay. So it would push the PoE from the main place out to that other port to power the other equipment. Is that right?
Correct.
So,
oh, neat.
Yes.
Okay.
So for both a camera installation or a repeater mode, you just have the one PoE going up, and it'll feed the second device.
Gotcha. One cable. That's all you need. Beautiful. So you can
Yep.
you can power two radios with one PoE, basically.
That's right.
Okay.
Or one radio and one camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of voltage does it take?
Well, you talk about the input
The
voltage?
RapidFire, yeah.
I think it's
What's
48
the,
volt because it's 8 at 3
volt?
AF, right?
It's AF.
Yeah, input is 80 standard, so from
80.
37 up to 60 volts something, and output is AF standard, so it's normally 48 volts.
So if I were to plug this into like maybe a Netonix, I'd still be able to do it, correct? Because they do a 48 volt high output that'll power like a air fiber. Is that correct?
If they have AF support, then yes.
Yes, it's AF. So 48 volts going up to the radio. Is that correct?
Yes. We include power adapter which provides 48 volts.
Right.
Yeah, but you like you said, you could use a Netonix, so you can only have one switch or something like that. All good, really.
How do we go about purchasing this product or looking at it to buy? And is there a specific price point that we could expect to buy something like this for?
Sure. Well, they're available through our North American distributors, and I'll put that up here. You can see it's on the web page, but it's easy to get to. These are our distributors in the U.S., border states, crossover, actually in the U.S. and Canada, Delta Radius, throughput wireless, and then super circuits, security. Actually, super circuits and security cameras don't, they only carry a point to multi-point. So that's the top four there are your best bet for getting those. And I shouldn't, Invictus and TechWave in Canada also have these products. So the 523, the MSRP on the 523 is $9.99. The 5N is $8.99.
So
that's per radio or per link?
Per radio.
Okay.
So just roughly, $2,000 a link, $1,800 a link without the integrated antenna, and that's the MSRP. And that's not with the buy three get one free, so it's 25% off that right now, basically when you buy three.
There you go.
Buy four.
Yeah, that isn't a bad deal at all. Definitely for a great product there as well. So definitely not a bad deal at all. Well, Steve, do you have anything else? I think we're out of time here. We can probably wrap things up.
Just if you guys are interested in this product, just go to Ligowave. I mean, I'm going to go check out their website and test out their link calculator and the like. Pretty cool stuff.
Do you have multiple RapidFire products or just the one?
Well, we have the 5 gigahertz with and without the integrated antenna, and then we have the 4 gigahertz.
And you have
So
okay.
for public safety.
So that's like 4.9.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So you have either a 5 gigahertz or 4.9 gigahertz for public safety. Awesome.
That's correct.
Awesome. Steve, I think we're good, unless I don't see any other questions, but I would say let's wrap her up.
Yeah, I want to thank Bill and Richards for being on the show today. Kind of a different format, doing a webinar, if you will, and this was really very informative to me. And like I said, this radio show probably cost me more money than it helps, but gotten a lot of good product ideas by doing this show, and I hope that our listeners gain some insight into this high capacity pipe that looks like LEGO's putting out there. So with that, again, thank you, Bill and Richards, and if you'll take us out, Dennis, we will talk to you guys all next week.
All right. Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to ISP Radio. We hope you've gained new insights and additional wisdom in our industry as well as your business. Please remember to visit our show sponsors via the links on ispradio.com. If you're interested in becoming a show sponsor, contact us at sales@ispradio.com. Now go out there and push those packets as fast as you can. Good luck and Godspeed.